Hello, and welcome to Discover Downtown Tours. My name is David Moore, and I'm with Downtown Raleigh Alliance. This month for Discover Downtown, we are highlighting public art created by women artists in our community. In addition to creating this self-guided tour, we're also hosting 4 different conversations with 4 local artists. Today, I'm joined by local artist Taylor White. Welcome, Taylor.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Really glad to have you here today.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Well, we're going to just get this interview kick started right away. So, my first question is tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into public art.
Um, Great. I have a bachelor's degree in illustration from SCAD. And I kind of stumbled my way into street art. I ended up moving to a couple of different locations after college. I had a brief illustration job, and then I ended up moving to Australia, and really was a matter of being like in the right place at the right time with the right people. That was around the time that sort of street art and public art projects were becoming a little bit more popular and more commercialized. So I started experimenting and marketed myself that way, and it just kind of took off from there.
Excellent. And like, if you see the body of work that you have now, it's amazing what you've been able to create. And so, super, again, thankful to have you interviewing with us today because you have some of the best murals in downtown Raleigh.
Oh,
And
thank you so
so,
much.
with that, seeing all the different types of art that you create, can you tell us a little bit more about what your artwork explores?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I kind of call myself a figurative artist, which is means I explore the human body as like a visual metaphor for, you know, states of being and more sort of spiritual questions.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm really interested in, I don't know how to keep it to 15 minutes, but I'll give it a whirl. So I'm interested in a like this phenomenon called like stochastic resonance, which it's like a principle by which basically like a weak signal can be influenced and boosted by adding noise. So more broadly, in the way that I explore that is like how it applies to our state of mind and states of being and our position kind of at the intersection of like, physics and the more spiritual elements of our existence, So, we live in a world where I think we can all kind of relate to the understanding of experiencing like fluctuations and sometimes deep fluctuations between sort of chaotic states and ordered states, and how we really grapple with creating meaning out of all of that. So it's like this like kind of like swirling emotional soup, and the process of like capturing it and making sense of it that I'm the most interested in. If it's something you can't really describe in words, but if you see it, you have this like moment of shared understanding with your viewer, and they like, oh yeah, I get that. Like I really can, I feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's just like this moment of relief of relatability between other people. So I
yeah,
find that just fascinating, like how you can like stop for a moment, and people's experience of my work is emotional, you
yeah.
know, and usually in a way that makes them pause. So I feel like I've had some success in that.
Definitely some success in stopping people in their tracks. Like, I've seen your pieces in downtown Raleigh, downtown Greensboro, and a couple of other spots. And like, I always love that your pieces feature like movement or hand motions or things of that nature because it's just so cool. But it's also like, not meant to like look perfect. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like showing actual people and like we're beautiful in our own ways and the body shapes and the different body types. And so I think that's one thing that always sticks out about your work to me, as someone that hires artists to do public art projects. I love the visuals that you create. And with that being said, well, let's just jump into talking about one of your the popular murals in downtown Raleigh. Uh, yeah. So tell the folks at home a little bit more about this piece. What's the title and what inspired you about it?
Yes, so this was a project that was commissioned by Google Fiber actually. And it kind of, that was just another example of kind of forces coming together to create something bigger than what it was originally intended. So it was sort of meant to be just like a small goodwill project that Google Fiber was commissioning all in the various cities where it hadn't yet laid the fiber cable that it promised.
Hmm.
Just candidly. But anyway, when we came together, it kind of became a little bit of a bigger project. We just saw the opportunity to go kind of ham with it. So they made it into a kind of augmented reality experiment. So if you have a Android phone, you can actually experience the mural kind of popping out of the wall. But the way I approached it, because at the time especially I was really studying dancers,
Mm.
and inspired by kind of the local community. In fact, these are 5 Raleigh Durham dancers. So I thought it was kind of a special opportunity to depict, you know, some local pride and also experience or explore the movement of the human form. And the reason I made it kind of simple and straightforward and everything was really a function of making it easy to be engineered for augmented reality.
Yeah.
So I mean, the images of the five dancers kind of in repose, kind of leaning on each other, and it creates this like arc. And the way that archways are structured, like stone archways, like every brick like leans on each other so that the center of gravity at the top, and without one, the whole thing comes down. So I liked that.
Yeah. No, it's on its own, just as a mural, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then, working with Google Fiber, and they added in that augmented reality. So yes, folks, at home, like, please go see this mural if you already haven't. It's on the side of Alfred William and Company at the corner of South Salisbury and I want to say West Davie Street. So if you have not checked this out, you should definitely go see it, and also take your phone with you, so that you can experience it in 2 different ways. I want to ask, like, this is a large mural. How long did it take you to install this piece?
Honestly, I did it in 10 days.
Wow.
So it was 10 kind of grueling days, but
Yeah.
10 days. Yeah.
That's amazing. With a project of this size, did you work with any other local partners, excuse me, on this project?
You mean did I have assistance or?
Yeah, did you work with any local artists? Did you work with any other arts organizations to get this done?
Oh, the Raleigh Murals project was the production catalyst for the project. So they worked with so Jedediah
Yeah.
worked with the local client, and they hooked up all the equipment and everything like that. So often I like when I work with private clients, I end up hooking up all that stuff myself. So it was actually nice. I think it saved me a lot of time and headache for them to be handling the production. All I
Yeah.
had to do was show up and do the work.
Yeah, shout out to Jed and Raleigh
Oh
Murals
yeah,
Project. They've done a lot of amazing work to bring color and life to downtown. So, we're definitely thankful for the work
sure.
that you created, as well as the project spearheaded by Jed and Raleigh Murals Project.
Yeah,
Um,
they've done a great job.
yeah. I also want to ask, with a project of this size and, you doing this in 10 days, did you have any major hurdles that you had to overcome to get this project done?
Um, for this particular one, it actually went pretty smoothly. I think, usually the major hurdles end up being like equipment failures or weather.
Yeah.
Um, but it was mostly pleasant. And actually, this one was probably one of the more pleasant ones because not only was I like off the street, so I didn't have to deal with, you know, pedestrian commentary as much, but I also I was in shadow most of the day and did it in, I don't remember what time of year I did it, but it wasn't as hot as it could have been. So usually it ends up being like I'm just out there being tortured by the sun. So
Yeah. No, that's good to hear that it went well, because sometimes things just go wrong, or weather delays can really mess up a project. Uh,
mhm.
but I think
Yeah,
people need to hear more about these behind the scenes stories,
for sure.
because they just get to show up and see the work done, but as the artist, you're dealing with everything to get it from start to finish.
That's a great observation. I think not many people know exactly what goes through or what you go through to actually install a mural. I think people have a little bit of a misconception that they go up overnight and
Right.
sometimes. So
And it
I think most of the hurdles ended up being on the back end of production with the augmented reality. But from the mural, from my perspective as the artist, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble putting it up.
got it. So I want to switch gears and also talk about one of your other murals downtown. This one is
For sure.
located next to Morgan Street Food Hall. Taylor, can you just tell us a little bit about this piece and how it came about?
Yeah, this was actually another. Um, I think this was another Raleigh murals. I think they punted it over to me really quick because it was kind of a last. It was a quick production, but
Yeah.
the uh, the women's international tournament conference tournament that was being held in Cary that year was it was really kind of a promotional thing for them. So this would have been a better example of extreme hurdles in just terms of like the production time being really condensed and like last minute change orders because of the sort of corporate requirements. So like for example, like the day I was supposed to start, they were like, the client got back to me and was like, oh, all of the teams have gotten new uniforms this year, so we need to change all the uniforms and we need to like add all the logos and we need to change this soccer player because there's some kind of contract where they can't be depicted by themselves. And some like, yeah, just really like like corporate tomfoolery within the soccer world that had nothing to do with the mural. So a lot of things had to be changed. It was a time of year where it was just ungodly hot outside, and so it was really that was a lot more difficult and less fun to put up. But it turned out great. I know that people love it. The soccer players absolutely loved it. So
Yeah. And if memory serves me correct, I believe these are four different athletes from four different teams that was participating in the Champions Cup that year here in
yeah,
Missouri.
you asked me who they were. I honestly would have a hard time recalling the names, um, but yes, four different players that they selected from each of the teams that were competing.
Yeah.
So
And so the folks at home, just so you know, if you go to our public art map on downtownraleigh.org, we do have this map included there, and we go into detail about who these players are and the teams and who they represent. So if you want to learn more about who's depicted in this mural, you can head to our website to read that. I also want to ask, this mural depicts four women athletes.
mhm.
And we don't always get to see that representation in public art and just in general. So what did it mean to you to create a mural like this that featured women?
I mean, as an artist, I think that there's an aspect of service that sometimes gets overlooked. Like I got like for this one, this was really kind of outside of my style and my wheelhouse a little bit, but I got the opportunity to do something specifically for this cause,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to experience you know the 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 player's experience of being featured in a mural, which was it was just an exciting thing to observe and be a part of. So they were really excited about it. The world of soccer fandom was really excited about it. So I thought that was an honor.
Yeah, it was really cool having women's ICC come to town because not only
Mm.
like did we get to see this mural happen, our company worked with NC Courage to do a send off for those athletes. And so it was really fun to have all those soccer fans come downtown, and we hosted like a small pep rally for them to
Mhm.
send them
Thank
off
you,
and just
Sarah.
let them know how much we support NC Courage and appreciate the amazing athletes that are there. So this was a really fun time when all this happened. It brought a lot of energy to the city for sure.
Yeah, I was really happy to be able to provide that for them.
Cool. Well, Again, folks, this mural can be found on the side of Morgan Street Food Hall, corner of Morgan Street and Southwest Street in downtown Raleigh. So again, if you haven't seen it, please go check it out. Real quick, I just want to highlight a couple other pieces from Taylor that are located downtown. You know, besides just the outdoor murals, Taylor also has pieces in a couple of different businesses downtown or museums. This one right here is at Cam Raleigh. So go check it out if you haven't. Taylor, what's the title of this piece? If
Oh
you,
my goodness, if you're asking me to pronounce it correctly.
I know I
It's,
found it online and I was like, I don't know how to say this.
yeah, it's a play on the Laocoon and his sons. Um, and so it's Laocoon in the algorithm. So it's basically a comment on kind of the psychological torture of the digital world.
Mm,
To be brief, there's a statement about it at CAM if you go check it out. I would love to drive more people to go visit it because they rotate the interior mural out every year, and I got the pandemic year, so the CAM has seen a lot less foot traffic than it ordinarily would on any other year. So it'd be great to drive more people to go check it out in person.
yes, definitely go check out Cam and this mural inside. The museum is free, so it's open to anyone and everyone. Just double check their hours when they're open, but you can always pretty much count on them being open on first Friday. So you can also come downtown and check them out then. Um, this is another one. I really love this. I love going to Raleigh Raw for like a smoothie or an acai bowl. So this is a really cool mural, and it takes up more of the wall than is even pictured right now, or just because of the way I had to crop it. But it's another amazing one.
Yeah, thanks. And Raleigh Raw are their homies, so I always happy to support them and create something that really fits their vibe and everything. So.
And then this next one is at Whiskey Kitchen, if you haven't seen it before. And it's a large wall that you painted this on.
Yeah, that might be one of my bigger claims to fame in the town, I think, or at least once people realized that I was the one who painted it. So it was really, it was an example of setting out to accomplish a goal and accomplishing exactly that goal. So, people, the commentary that I get from people is like, oh, you never notice it. You almost wouldn't notice it was there unless you were looking for it, first of all. So that was the one goal, is like, I don't want to overpower the space with the mural. I want to augment the space with the mural.
That makes
The
sense.
other feedback is like, every time I come back, I notice new things. I can, like, you sit at the bar and you stare at it and you notice new things. So.
But shout out to the folks at Whiskey Kitchen for also empowering artists and creating space for them. Because not only do they have this mural inside, but on the front side of the building, there's 2 spaces that host rotating murals. So it's always cool to go there. And in one of our other artist interviews, we talk with Georgia Tardy, who has a mural on the outside of the building right now. So it's super cool. Definitely go check out Whiskey Kitchen and the public art that's located there. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, Taylor, thank you again for being here. In the bottom right, you have Taylor's Instagram and website if you want to check out her work or reach out to her in any way. Before we wrap up the interview, I just want to ask, as a working artist, how can the community support you?
Honestly, like, just keep sharing and talking about it. Like, I think it's a really great time. I'm fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to do my work around here, with all the new construction and new offices and stuff that are moving in. So, the more you share and everything, the better it is for me.
Excellent. Well, thank you again for being here today. Really appreciate your time. Yeah. And so before I wrap it up, I just want to say thank you to our Discover Downtown sponsors. These folks are amazing. They help us put on this program monthly. So be on the lookout for our future tours coming up. You can stay connected with Downtown Raleigh Alliance by following us on social media. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. You can also go to our website and look for our self-guided public art tour. Again, that just launched this month, and we are featuring public artwork created by women artists. So definitely go check that out. And then we also have a list of women-owned businesses located in downtown Raleigh. Excuse me. So definitely go check out that blog on our website and support businesses as much as you can. Thanks, and we'll see you at our next Discover Downtown tour.